What up guys, it's Tops, and I am back with another video today. Today we're going to be discussing the possibilities of PhD Flopper making its return. Maybe officially, maybe unofficially. What I mean by that is mod tools, of course. Now, it could potentially come in Infinite Warfare, I feel like. Although unlikely, since we already do have bomb stoppers, which, I mean, it is PhD. It's, it takes away the explosive damage, but sadly we do not have the dolphin dive. We have the sliding mechanic once again. So we do not have an opportunity to make use of the flop. But I feel like if Infinity Ward just updated the moveset of the character or whatever and added in dolphin diving in this way that I'm gonna describe in a second, then we could have both the sliding mechanic and the dolphin dive, or something similar to it at least, allowing us to flop. And when I mean something similar to it, there's not really any buttons left, to be honest, on a controller to make you dolphin dive. You can't really have both. They replaced it. With PC, you have the keyboard. There's so many keys, you could just make it a different key on the keyboard, that's fine. But I'm talking about console right now for Infinite Warfare Zombies. So if they wanted to make an update or anything, which I doubt they would, but they could either make an update to change bomb stoppers or add a different perk that did this part of PhD, where you do the dolphin dive. I don't know, they they could just do this method instead. So what method is this that I'm going to describe right now? Well, let's take a look back at a classic platformer game. Now, I know Call of Duty is not a platformer, so you can't really directly compare it to this, but taking this mechanic from it could really make PhD Flopper work. And if it's not brought back in Infinite Warfare or any later Treyarch game, people in the modding community could certainly do it for Black Ops 3 mod tools. I mean, we've seen the dolphin dive being brought into World at War before, so why couldn't this be brought into Black Ops 3 with a little bit of advanced coding? But, nothing is impossible. I think it really could be done, and it should be done, because everybody loves PhD Flopper. But let's take a look back at Mario 64. Now, this game came out in 1996, 20 years ago, and one mechanic that it had was a dive, but it was the same button as the melee attack. Now, in that game, your melee was just a punch. If you did it in midair, it was a kick. You could also dive. You could dive on the ground or in air using the same button as the punch. The kick was if you were holding forward on the control stick and you had some momentum behind you when you pressed the B button, it was. If you have momentum behind you and you were running forward when you did it and you pressed B, you would dive instead of do a punch. And if you were in the air holding forward and you had momentum behind you, you would dive instead of kick in the air. If you held back on the control stick, though, you would do a kick in the air instead of dive. And if you were just not moving or moving very slowly while on the ground, instead of doing the dive there, you would just do a punch. So they could do something similar like this with the melee attack, which I don't think they should have dolphin diving being just from the ground, because that way when you would melee, that means you can't melee while walking forward. That's just dumb. I think what they should do is have it be only in the air, keep the slide on the ground, and then have it be in the air. You actually press melee to do a dive in the air, while you're already moving forward, though. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to be pressing forward while being in the air. So you could jump, and if you do a lot of jump, I mean, it wouldn't do a flop, but unless, just jumping on the ground where it's level in front of you. But if you do it from a high point and then you could jump and then hold forward, press knife, and that would put you into a dive if you have momentum behind you, similar to how it worked in Mario 64. If you want to just knife in the air, you don't hold forward while you jump, and you just let go of the control stick, and then you knife in the air. So I think that this would be a great way to do it, because it lets you do it on a console. So even on PC with mod tools, if it only gets made there, you could be using a controller, and you wouldn't have to worry about not having enough buttons, because you could just press knife in the air. And, no one really jumps in the air and knifes, really, so I thought it would be something that it could work, and you could also still have the slide in there, so you could add perks such as Banana Colada, which I think should be a part of many more custom maps, but that's a discussion for another video. But yeah, I mean, it could be brought to future Zombies games, officially, because I think this method would work very well, because then it would give you the option to do both, which I know a lot of companies, they have multiplayer, there's no diving, so that's why they wanted to keep the sliding in Zombies. Now, would this be ever brought to multiplayer? Probably not, which is why it's unlikely that it would be made officially into either Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 4. It's probably not going to be Black Ops 4. It's probably going to be something else, whatever that game may be. But you know what? For the modding community, I think this is a great thing that could be made into an addition. It would be a great way to get PhD Flopper to work, but also leave the slide mechanic in there as well. I mean, it could also be changed if people don't want it to make it like knife for whatever reason. You could also have it so you just press crouch while in air. So like while you're running, you'd have to be in air, holding the control stick forward, so you have like that forwards momentum when you do it, and then you press crouch, and then that would initiate it. Like, it could be either way, really, either the knife or the crouch, because neither of them are stuff that, like, you really do while in air anyway. So I feel like that could just be made into that. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, I guess. There's just a little bit of an analysis video, like, what would be a good way to bring it back. But being able to keep the slide, too, because I know a lot of people wouldn't want that removed necessarily. And especially the companies, you know, like more than the community, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, you know, like any company making a Call of Duty game isn't going to just remove the slide mechanic now after it's become a part of the Call of Duty franchise since Ghosts, I think, was the first game that incorporated it. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that this will be made a part of at least custom maps someday. This is pretty much it, though. This is Tops, and I'm out.